After recent developments on the education issue here in Kahnawake, Grand Chief Mike Delisle sat down with KTV to give us an update.
And joining us on the program is Grand Chief Mike Delisle. It's been a very busy, stressful couple of weeks for everyone, not just Mohawk Council, but everyone. You had protesters, you had meetings at night. It seemed to just go on and on and on. What was the breakthrough?
Well, I think in my time here, 14 years, I told Council this, and I'd repeat it to anybody who else is listening. It's the most dedicated time I've seen Council put in a 4-day period, into the evenings, like I said, in my 14 years. So I'm proud of the work that was put in, as well as the volunteer group of Combined Schools Committee who came in at 7 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, after work hours to meet with us to try and come to some type of agreement. And finally, Thursday morning, after we were hoping at 11 o'clock would be tabled, didn't happen until about 1:30, 2 o'clock after more discussion and some debate in terms of some of the wording and so on. But again, I've come to an agreement where Mohawk Council of Kahnawake and the Combined Schools Committee will move forward together for the benefit of education in Kahnawake. A 30-day work plan is being put in place by the two teams. Some council members being designated on the team itself. I'll remain involved as well. We're looking for to maintain that type of, work environment, you can call it, that we established last week. It says that within the Mohawk Council Executive Directive, which we rescinded the last one and put this one in place, that over the next 30 days we will assemble this working group and work plan and formulate a new working relationship between education and the MCK. So it is a positive step forward.
What happens after 30 days?
Well, we'll remain involved, so to speak, in terms of some of the other things that need to happen. We don't think that the full consultation in terms of constitution will happen within that 30-day plan, work plan, and period. So there will need to still be some connectivity. Some of the school activities in school committees will be happening within that 30-day period, but there probably will be other concerns, questions, and things that need to be addressed afterwards. Again, it's a work in progress. We're trying to build this new, renewed relationship between the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake and the education system. It's been under strain not only in the last month, but I've been here, like I said, again, 14 years, and as a former portfolio chief ex officio on education file, I've seen it then, and it continued up until now.
Will this change things?
I hope so, for the better. I believe so, and I think all of us sitting around the table, 12, as well as the Combined Schools Committee who came to agreement last week, believe so as well. It's time to talk. It's time to be able to, if you want to call it negotiate, but at least put everything on the table and understand what education is for this community and move forward, not only with us as the council and the combined, but also as the community at large.
There were several points that seemed to be common to both sides, such as constitutional issues and things like that. Did that make things easier, or was that just thrown into the mix when it came time to discuss what was going to happen?
I don't think anything really made it easier. It was tough discussion last week for the better part of 4 days. Like I said, into the evening, some marathon sessions, the dedication that was shown by both sides, and I hate to put it that way, but all parties who became involved last week. We met with many groups, many people, including the interim board of trustees that we put in place. I'd like to thank them for taking on that task as well. Now it falls on the shoulders of the Mohawk Council and the Combined School Committee to come up with a formal presentation that would be acceptable to the community.
This was a tough one on community as well, because they were witness to a protest that was going on for a few days and a few nights and things like that. What have you heard in the meantime? I know after the signing, after the MCED was signed, you had a planned vacation, took a couple of days off, but I'm sure you ran into people anyway. What have you been hearing?
Actually not, because I'm coming off a couple of days sickness as well, to be very honest, but I think there is somewhat of a calm in the community, understanding what we've gone through in the last month or so, culminating in last week's protest and like I said, marathon discussions and meetings and negotiations. But patience, again, to community, to surrounding community members and neighbors of the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake here for allowing it to remain peaceful, which it was. There were some issues that were addressed internally here as well as in the parking lot, but for the most part, very peaceful. We came up to a conclusion, and again, patience in the community is what allowed us to maintain it for 4 days.
we would be remiss if we didn't ask the question, was there a winner and was there a loser in this?
Absolutely not. I think in terms of losers, we weren't out to take control. That was never the key. I don't think the Combined School Committee was looking to do that based on our discussion of the last 4 days as well, which probably should have happened, quite honestly, 5 months ago or so. Didn't happen as much as we would have liked. I think the winner is education at the end of the day. Not only the schools itself, but the system. Looking for a renewed constitution, a renewed blueprint for education moving forward, and hopefully a resolve to some of these divisive issues within education in Kahnawake.
Well, I have to say, as someone who's been working in here for the past 10 years myself and watching this unfold, I have to take my hat off to Chief and Council, but especially you for, in this case, really steering a very difficult ship. So thanks for that, and I know it's not over yet.
The work just begins.
All right. Grand Chief Mike Delisle, thank you very much.
Yeah.